I have 10 siblings and 2 parents. We don't have any twins. All of us are blood related. None of us are adopted. And yes, my family was Catholic. And I guess I say my family was Catholic or is Catholic because I'm not Catholic anymore. And I think that's also an interesting fact, is that I grew up pretty intensely in the Catholic Church my whole life. And then I decided to leave when I was 18 years old. And it was single-handedly one of the most traumatizing things I've ever done. I recently got my first job ever as an adult because my entire life I've only ever done YouTube. I've been a YouTuber since I was 10 years old. So I decided when I was 21, I guess, that I wanted to get a regular job. So I applied to work at an animal sanctuary as a social media person. I guess it's not a super regular job because it's still doing social media, but it's a 9 to 5 and I have a team and I work on Slack and all that. The point is I've never had a job before besides that. So I'm currently 3 months into my first job. I have a genetic disorder. I think it's called brachydactyly. Actually, I have 2 genetic disorders. One of which is scoliosis, which you can see makes my spine crooked, and then the other one is I think called brachydactyly, and it makes my fingers crooked and kind of weird. Ignore my clear nails, okay? I need to paint them. But as you can see, people like to say my fingers are reversed because this finger is supposed to be the small one, but this finger's supposed to be long, but it's whatever. You get it. I got married at the age of 19. My whole life I said that I was never going to drink alcohol or smoke weed or do any drugs or anything because I, again, was super religious and I just thought that I wasn't going to. And then I had a really bad experience with a boy that I won't tell you about because I'm not trying to make you guys sad. And it made me hate myself and not want to be happy anymore. So I decided that I was going to ruin my life when I was 17 years old. And I know that sounds stupid and it sounds like it's out of some weird book, but it's true. I remember driving around and actually thinking, I want to ruin my life. I want to have a bad life because I was having a hard time, okay? Then I started drinking and smoking, which I definitely should not have because it was super illegal, but also because I was really young and it was, I don't know, it wasn't good for me. I was in a bad place of life. I honestly just became a really annoying person. I could go on about me being 17 for years. But in that time period of my life, I liked this guy who was a SoundCloud rapper. And I actually did a lot of messed up stuff with him. I really messed with his head because I couldn't make up my mind if I liked him or not. Anyway, so in the end of it, he decided to write a diss track about me and it was called Fuck a Hoe. I like to think I'm a really independent person. I grew up with a lot of money, not me, but my parents always had money. I always grew up in really big houses and stuff. But my parents never paid for literally anything. Like I said, I've had a job since I was about 10 years old. So second I had money, my mom was like, you can pay for yourself. And even before then, I was just a really independent child. I always cooked for myself. I made waffles. I made breakfast all the time. I loved to cook when I was really young. Not a great idea because I was probably 7 years old. Since I had this career as a child, I was in a band for most of my life on YouTube. You guys probably know what that is because everybody comments about it. There's some really interesting facts about the band. There's a lot, but just for starters, I was on a game show in China, to create a girl group. We weren't contestants on the game show. We were guests, I guess you could say. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'm wasting my time explaining it. But Carly Rae Jepsen was also on it at the time. Another notable fact from my career, my illustrious career, is that we had a Subway commercial and a Play-Doh commercial. I was a swimmer for most of my childhood and I played water polo in middle school and I was actually pretty good at it when I was in middle school, but then I played again in high school and I was really bad. So I don't know if I would be good at it nowadays. I was homeschooled my entire life and I never even once went to a school except to take the ACT when I was 16. But I always wanted to go to school. So in high school, I begged my mom to let me to go to high school. Oh, hi, my dog's here. I asked her a lot to let me go to high school, but I didn't have the time because, again, I was in a band. And that's the same reason why I had a break in playing water polo. I had to stop in middle school, and I literally cried the whole way home for my final game because, again, I couldn't do it because I was in the band. I have a hidden talent of harmonizing because if people don't know that I was in Cimorelli, they don't assume that, obviously. So a lot of times my husband will have recording sessions because he's a musician, and he'll bring me in to record harmonies for him and write harmonies for him. And a lot of times the producers or whatever are always super shocked. They're like, oh my God, because it's actually kind of hard to do harmonies and record them, and I'm pretty good at it if I do say so myself. So that's kind of my party trick, TBH. I learned how to read when I was 3, turning 4. That is a flex. I'm very good at reading. I very badly learned how to sew when I was younger, so I actually made both of my prom dresses. They were not made well, they were not constructed well, but they did the job. This is for my junior prom, and this is for my senior prom, and I actually stole that little diamondy thingy on my waist.